Yo, what's good? Next, your name, Amolytics. Happy Friday, everybody. July 18th. Good to be back after All-Star break. I'll recap the last day on July 12th prior to All-Star break, and then we'll move forward. Went 3 for 5. Marte and Burleson missed out there, and then Holiday, Turl, and Donovan got hits there. That St. Louis and Atlanta game was weird. I said that was a bullpen game, so it was hard to tell. I still decided to go with it, being that I don't believe in Atlanta's bullpen. And then, the Marte one was surprising against Kikuchi there, that he couldn't get one against him. I think he was leading off there too. So, that sucks. And then Alonso didn't get a home run. We went there. I forgot exactly who they were going up against, but I believe Soto hit one right in front of him, but Alonso couldn't get one. But you have that, that the home runs are long shots, but then again, we want to hit those as well, in addition to the hit plays. But moving forward on today, I'll get my top 5 and then my home run play, and then per usual, I will upload the top 10 hitters that I like for the day as far as hits, and then my top 5 for home run plays on my Instagram at NextGen Amolytics. So starting out, I like Luke's of Toronto going against Verlander. Verlander's been struggling, since over the course of the year, but for sure since he came back from his injury, is struggling with lefty bats. Since that return that he had on the 18th of June, lefties are batting north of 300. I want to say about 333. And then on the year wise, lefties are having a weighted OBA of 344, whip of he has a whip of 151, and then OPS is 791. You got Luke's at the top of that Toronto lineup, in which they moved him there. It was Bichette for the longest time, but they moved him there. But Bichette may be batting cleanup. So they like Luke's in that spot. He's one of their, few lefties that they have. They got Barger as well in the 5 slot there, that you can take too. But I like them to get to Verlander here. I don't see him pitching a gym here, as Toronto's been hot over the course of the past month. And again, I don't see him stopping that. And then I will say Bassett on the Toronto side, he's not really good either. I would like to go after him on the San Fran side, but I don't like San Fran's offense. There should be a lot of runs scored in this game. I will speak to Verlander's last couple starts, and then we'll move forward. Gave up 7 base runners, 1 homer against Philly, 2 earned there. And then at the Athletics, I will give him that. It's a minor league ballpark there. Gave up 8 base runners, 6 earned. White Sox are not really, I know I got the hat on, but we're not really giving them much weight. 7 base runners, 1 earned there. Miami got to him a little bit for 6 base runners, 3 earned in 5 innings. And then Cleveland got to him for 8 base runners, 3 earned there, and 1 home run. And what you know about Cleveland, a lot of lefties. Philly has a decent amount of lefties. Miami, they have Stowers, Sanchez, Edwards in their lineup. Athletics got a decent amount of lefties with Kurtz, Soderstrom, Butler, and then I feel like it's a name that I'm forgetting on that side. So a couple of these lineups that he's facing, are heavy on lefties. So as I mentioned, he's been allowing lefties to get to him, and Luke's is at the top. They're top of the lineup there. So I like this for him and Toronto to get the Verlander. Next up, I like Castro of Minnesota going against Freeland of Colorado, in Colorado, and as I will continue to mention, if you don't know, Colorado, is a hitter's dream ballpark, and so I believe, Minnesota can get them here. They see lefties, quite well. The couple people in that lineup being Castro, Buxton, Correa. There's another one in there that I'm forgetting. Catcher. Can't think of his name right now. Oh, Jeffers. He hits lefties well. So they got a couple up there that hit lefties well, and Freeland by no means, is an ace. So, I like this for them to get to him. And then I will mention, and I forgot to mention, over for Luke's, wise over the course since June 1st. He has a 119 WRC plus and a 12% K rate against right-handed pitching. That's Luke's going up against Verlander. But for Castro, has a 232 WRC plus, 13% K rate against left-handed pitching since June 1st. Freeland, giving up an 840 OPS, a 164 WHIP, and a 363 weighted OBA against right-handed batters. I'll speak to his last couple starts. Win against Boston. At Boston, gave up 6 base runners, 3 earned there. Houston got to him for 8 base runners, 3 earned. Milwaukee got to him for 11 base runners, 6 earned. San Fran got to him for 8 base runners, 3 earned. So he's giving up base runners. He's giving up earned runs. He's going to be at home against a Minnesota lineup where, as I said, the top 4 or 5 of that lineup can really hit lefties. So I like this for Castro. And I'm doubling up here. I like this for Buxton as he's leading off for the Twins. He has a 191 WRC plus, 19% K rate against left-handed pitching. So I believe Castro's batting at the 3 slot, and then Buxton's at the top there. So I like this for both of them in that lineup. You honestly could possibly take Castro for a RBI there, in the spot that he is in, or Correa at the 4 slot. But moving forward, next up, I like Randy Arozarena going against Walter of Houston. A young lefty here. Has struggled on the road in it early on, in his career now. I'll speak to his starts as well. But Arozarena, he's batting after Raleigh in the 4 slot there. And teams are going to start pitching around Raleigh. So, I believe he gets a ball to hit here. I believe they'd rather go after him than Cal. So, as I mentioned, Walter's struggling on the road. Got shelled against Colorado. I will give him that it's a hitter's ballpark, but he gave up 8 base runners, 5 earned there, 1 home run. Went to the Angels, gave up 8 base runners, 7 earned, 2 home runs there. And then gave up at Cleveland 6 base runners, 2 earned, 1 home run there. And then what you know about Cleveland, they really do not hit lefties at all. His first start, he did well against Tampa Bay. I will give him that. Gave up 3 hits, 0 earned there, 4 base runners total. So he has a real problem with the long ball. Has given up a home run in all but 1 of his starts. So you got 6 out of his 7 starts, he's given up a home run. Arozarena should see a pitch to hit here. He's giving up base runners. So, at least 5 plus and 6 out of the 8. So I like this for him. As I mentioned, he's right after Raleigh. So, yeah. And then I didn't speak to his WRC plus. He has a 196 WRC plus and a 16% K rate against left-handed pitching for Arozarena. And then you got Walter with a 104 whip to righties, which is low. I will give him that. His walk rate is low. Yeah, his walk rate is low. He's only walked 2 batters so far. He does have a 753 OPS he's given up, and then a 322 weighted OBA against right-handed batters. So I like this for Seattle as a team, and especially the top of that lineup. And then my last one is Yandy Diaz of Tampa Bay. If you've been watching the channel, you're very familiar with Yandy. Someone we go to quite a bit. He's going against Charlie Morton here. Morton's got it together after, he started off very bad, in the year. Was getting shelled, really. He hasn't really been getting shelled. I'll give him that by any means. Pitched well last week against the Mets. Gave up 7 base runners there, 7 base runners against Atlanta, 6 base runners against Texas. So he's still giving up base runners. And Tampa Bay just saw him about a month ago on the 19th of June, in which he gave up 6 base runners, 1 earned there at Tampa Bay. So he's going back to Tampa Bay here, to see them again. Struggles with the right side of the plate, giving up a 770 OPS, a 145 whip, a 336 weighted OBA. Then you got Yandy with a 188 WRC plus, 14% K rate. I will say that Morton gives up a little bit more power to the left side, but we're not necessarily looking for that here with Yandy, just to put it in play. So I like this for Yandy and Tampa Bay. I feel like there's runs scored here. They just saw him, and then I believe Baltimore just saw Bradley, who's on the other side, who struggles with lefties. What you know about Baltimore, they're full of lefties. So I believe runs are scored here. In this small ballpark. It's very hot down there. I'm knowing, got to be hot. It's hot here in Atlanta, so it's got to be hot there. And so I like this for them. In order, I will go Castro, Arozarena, Buxton, Lukes, and then Yandy. That's the order for the hits. And then home run wise, I'm going back to Seattle against that Water kid, Raleigh. Just having a historic season for a catcher. Has really been hitting lefties, over the course of the past, since June 1st. I'll speak to that real quick. So since June 1st, Raleigh has a 1,200 slug against left-handed pitching with a 1,700 OPS and an 839 ISO and 34 plate appearances. I like this, at home against a kid that struggles on the road, has given up a home run in his last 6 out of 7. This is a perfect spot for him. I also like Arozarena here too. They should get to this kid on today. But that's my top 5. That's my homer. If you have any questions about anything, please let me know. Any suggestions, please let me know as well. If you want to be notified when I post, please subscribe and turn on your notifications. Like, comment, share. Welcome back. Let's get this money.